You know what they say, history tends to repeat itself. Liverpool faced off against Real Madrid in the Champions League final just like they did back in the 2018-19 final, and yet again, Los Blancos came out on top. And after the match, Michael Owen had some rather interesting things to say. Just as a refresher for who this guy is, he's the guy who was saying that Liverpool was going to completely stomp past Madrid in the final, giving a prediction of 3-1 or 3-0. And well, let me just go ahead and let you hear what his comments were after the match.
It just happens sometimes in football. I still think they're the best team in Europe. I really do. I think, you know, on other occasions, Liverpool would be having their name etched in the trophy this time. But it wasn't.
How can you say they're the best team in Europe?
No,
they've lost the league and they lost the Champions League final.
I know, but I mean, the season that they've had, I still think that they're the team to beat. I mean, yeah, right.
And let me just go ahead and pause him right there. How is Liverpool the team to beat when they lost the Premier League to Manchester City? Now granted, they did go to the final day, but they still lost. And how are they the team to beat when Real Madrid beat them in the Champions League final? Just makes no sense right from the get-go, but it gets worse. Trust me.
Madrid have got past them today, but you know as well as anyone, a one-off game is a one-off game. It's exactly that. I still think that they're the most fearsome team in Europe, and they've not got any of the big two trophies this season to show for that, and that'll be the biggest pill to swallow. What do you think to that?
I don't think they're the best team. I think you've got to win the big trophies to be considered the best. You've got to get your hands on the big trophies to be called outright the best team in Europe. I don't think they can be considered that. And I think that'd be disrespectful to a team like Madrid who've gone and done what they've done against the best other teams in Europe. They beat all our top three teams in Europe in our league. They've got rid of them and got their hands on that trophy.
And another pause right there. Rio Ferdinand is the other one who is talking with Michael Owen here, and I completely agree. I could not agree more with Ferdinand here. Michael Owen saying this about Liverpool, they beat all of the big three in the Premier League. They beat Chelsea, they beat Manchester City, and then beat Liverpool in the final. And just a cherry on top was PSG prior to those three matches. So him saying it's a one-off game, like, that's the whole point of the competition. Even if it's a first and second leg, you still have to come out on top after the 180 minutes have been played, and that's what Madrid did. In the final, they only did it in 90. They didn't have to go into overtime, they didn't have to go to penalties, but how can Michael Owen still argue that Liverpool are the better team after losing to Madrid? Makes no sense.
Yeah, they'll lift the trophy, and of course they will, but can you watch the two games against Manchester City and say they were the better team? Can you say the same against Chelsea? Possibly today they've grounded out, but I mean, just because you win the trophy, I still think there's a lot more to be said for who's the best team. Listen.
Now, I've seen this argument a lot against Madrid, and that is that they might have won, but they didn't look good in the process. And to that I say, I would rather my team fight through all adversity, but get the job done at the end. Regardless, I don't want to see no bicycle kicks. I don't want to see any fancy stuff. Stick to the basics and get the job done. That's what Madrid did. So I just do not understand Michael Owen and his argument here. He is completely delusional at times. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the argument of Premier League versus La Liga. The biggest difference between the Premier League and La Liga is the quality of the teams when it matters most. Take Real Madrid for example. They just beat Liverpool again for their 14th Champions League trophy in their history. They have double the amount of Champions League trophy than second place AC Milan. Here's something though that I want all of you to see, and that is Spanish teams just completely destroy English teams when it comes to European finals. Of the last 17 finals played between an English team versus a Spanish team, the Spanish team has come out on top every single time. 17 out of 17. So I know you probably know somebody, a Liverpool supporter, or somebody who just cannot stop talking about how the Premier League is so much better than La Liga, and I want you to send them this video. Let them know that Spanish teams and La Liga are incredibly well run, and yes, they might not have the sheer number of quality teams, but the ones that are on top, English teams cannot touch them. They have nothing to show for it. If you have made it this far into the video, be sure to leave me a like, share this video with a Liverpool supporter that you know, and as always, I will catch you in the next one. Peace.